Welcome, everybody, to the Mullins Over Music podcast, where we mull over musical quandaries and talk with special musical guests. This is the first episode, and with the first episode, we have our first guest, Mr. Todd Brown, a.k.a. TheGrungeKid. He's known best for his TikTok skits that are hilarious, as well as his band Paradigm. I think you'll enjoy our chat. It was very chill, very insightful, and just a lot of fun to chat with a good friend of mine. Also, the intro music to this is the beginning of my song from my new EP coming out soon. I'll talk more about that as time goes on. But this is the intro to Courage Like an Elephant. Finally decided on a name. Mullin over it, or Mullin over music. And there's like a parentheses F. Got the
That's
cat.
clever.
Yeah, I know. I gotta thank my lovely wife for coming up with that name. She was very smart to have come up with it. Nuggy, say something. He's permed. That's good enough.
Speech.
Well, with my first guest here, I have Mr. Todd Brown of
Hello, glad to be here.
And of Todd Brown. I mean, you got to be of yourself, am I right?
Oh yeah, for sure. How you doing, man?
You know what? I'm doing pretty well. Looks like the end of mandatory extra time for work in sight. Didn't have any today anyways. So we're doing good in that regard.
That's good.
How are you doing with your work, Mr. Traveling Phlebotomist?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm actually wrapping up this contract up here. I'm leaving in 2 weeks and I'll be headed back home for the rest of the year. So it'll be some good downtime for me.
Good to hear. Now, where do you hail from again?
Arkansas. I am from Arkansas.
Yeah, good old Arkansas.
Oh yeah. Woo pig.
So I did write down some stuff, but we'll kind of play loose with this because this is a chill podcast.
Sure, let's do it.
So, got to start out with the big question. You know, does pineapple belong on pizza?
Absolutely.
Okay, you're one of the pineapple people.
It's good. The sweet and spicy, man. That's how you gotta look at it. I enjoy it. I don't mind it at all.
You know what? I can't disagree with you on that. I do like sweet and salty, sweet and spicy type of stuff. One time I tried now you gotta bear with me on this. Chocolate chip. You put them on some regular, like Pringles potato chips. And then you put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds and let the chocolate melt. Boom. Game changer.
Okay, not gonna lie, that sounds pretty fire. And I might need to try that one day.
It is quite delicious. I don't do it very often, but when I do, it's a sweet and salty treat that can't be beat. I'll tell you what.
Hey, yeah, you need to do something with that, man. Like turn it into something.
You know what? I see them at the store. I learned that I wasn't the first person to think of this. Not only because I found that on the internet when I figured that out, but they sell like chocolate covered Pringle like chips at the store.
You know what? I think Lay's makes them.
Of course they do. Of course
they've made them for they had them for a while, but they discontinued them and brought them back for a little bit. But when they were out, I tried them and they were really good. But
know what? Lay's
your
hit us up
concept of it
for
sounds better.
sponsorship.
So I
I said Lay's needs to hit me up for a sponsorship.
do it like, because they need to bring them back because they were really good. I really enjoyed them.
Oh yeah, for sure. So first real question, we gotta start with where did the name the Grunge Kid come from?
Oh man,
You got a
that's
story. I know you got a story behind it.
one of the first nicknames. Well, it came from my cousin originally because we were coming up with stage personas. You know, starting out in music early,
Yeah.
and he named a couple of them, but Grunge Kid stood out the most.
Oh,
And I was just like, I was really getting big into grunge, and I was just like, that fits what I'm, fits me and fits the stuff that I'm playing. So it just stuck, and then I turned it into a name for like a comedy persona, and it just stuck with me longer than that. So that's pretty much how I became Grunge Kid.
okay. You know what? I like it, man. You remember any of the other ones he gave you?
Uh, he he gave me the my first nickname. It was Todd Tenacious.
Okay. I do
It
remember reading about that in your bio. You want to go into a little bit about that?
Oh man, it's those early cringy days. Um, it was one of those nicknames that I held with pride because I didn't have anything else to hold on to.
Fair.
And
Excuse me.
it was my first like stage persona as a solo musician.
Okay.
So I wore that name for about 4 years, and then that's then after that I transitioned into Grunge Kid,
Okay.
which was a whole lot better than what I was going after. It was like a phase each
I
time I had a different
think
name.
Grunge Kid is what people know you as.
Oh yeah, for sure. I still get called Grunge Kid from time to time. I've had people uh I had people that told me like, yeah, I've been watching you since middle school, man. I can't believe the Grunge Kid is talking to me. I'm like, whoa, way to make me feel old.
Come on, you're not that old.
Oh no, it's just the
But
way they
I
say,
do understand how you feel. You hit something that nostalgia hits you, or somebody says, I remember when you were, this, and now you're here, and I'm like, whoa, that's
yeah, because it's just like you didn't like I had no idea so many people were like watching me up until like I got older. Like I did all this stuff 10 years ago, and here's people now reaching out and telling me that they've been watching me since like day one, and I had no idea. So it was kind of nice. I felt flattered. I felt great. I just had no idea.
well. I personally love your stuff. Like,
I
I
appreciate
remember
that.
when you did your mob boss skit thing that you had going on there for a while. That was great. I loved.
The account, yeah, yeah.
Um, then of course you do the Tool stuff, which
Oh
I
yeah.
know Tool is a big influence. I see. I did my music homework. I listened to all of Paradigm and your new single, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Oh man. Oh, thank you.
I mean, you got to do your homework, man. And I've listened to a good bit of Paradigm before, but I had to go back starting with the early years and work my way through the dreamscapes. But you
Oh man, you
got
you did a deep dive.
Song for Sarah, the first one up on Paradigm, or Paradigm, the early years.
Yeah.
That's a certified banger right there.
Oh man, thank you. I gotta redo that song. I've actually thought about my bandmate Jonas. He wanted to do like a boy how go back and do different versions of your old stuff. He
Yeah.
didn't want to do that for a while, and that's what one of those songs. That song was on top of the list to do.
Oh, good, because I really enjoy that song. So you need some help, hit me up.
Oh yeah, yeah, you got it, you got it.
But let's go on to, I mean, since we're talking about Paradigm already, great segue into Paradigm. Tell me. Tell me about Paradigm. I know a good bit of people know you as the grunge kid, but not as many people know you as Paradigm the band.
Yeah, so Paradigm was a transition from Grunge Kid. Um, I was learning a whole lot of new stuff as a musician, and this was like in college, and I wanted to launch a project that reflected that. So, in my downtime, at that time, I was in another band playing drums. I was still writing stuff on the side. So, um, the songs that I already had ready, I would just, wanted to get them out there. And the name Paradigm came, like, was always in the back of my head to use, but I never knew what it meant. So I looked it up, and it was the definition of it is a typical pattern, like a scientific pattern, an example, or whatever. So
Right.
I was like, that kind of fits what I'm going for. So I was like, yeah, this is going to be the project. This is Paradigm. So that came about, and then I released my first single as under Paradigm in 2016,
Okay.
and it just went, from there. And people started to, like, oh man, this is new.
Was your first single again?
The first single was "Hello, It's Me, Your Misery."
Okay.
I launched that in 2016, and I had like a lot of great feedback from it, and it did great. So that made me want to, do more and keep at it. And 7, 8 years later, I'm still, at it.
Yeah. Um, Gotta talk about the newest single, or would you call it a single? It says latest release always on Spotify, so I always say latest release, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
single. Later, I love it. I like the artwork on it. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's all. That's Jonas. I did the riff for it, and he's a great producer. So he would just, usually when we bounce ideas back and forth to each other, and he takes whatever we, make and just makes it his own thing. And I always say give him that Jonas touch, but yeah, he did the vocals on it and did the artwork for it, and it turned out great. That song's gonna be on Dreamscapes 4.
Which I'm very much looking forward to.
Yeah, we're still working on it, and hopefully I can. It's gonna be a two-parter, so I'm gonna do part
Double
one.
album. That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm gonna do part one. Hopefully, I release it at the end of the year, and do the next part around sometimes next year. But it's definitely coming.
I was gonna ask about Dreamscapes 4, so I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, I've
I
been
feel
wanting to
like
release it for a
they get
while.
progressively more interesting and more intricate. I can hear your influences, um, which I wanted to talk about some of your influences.
Hmm.
Um, I know in your bio, let me pull it up here because I read it like a week ago. It said a mixture, you got that laid back lo-fi ish type vibe, which
Yeah,
I definitely hear it, and especially in Dreamscapes 1, you definitely hear a lot of that lo-fi vibe type of deal.
yeah.
And then your grunge and indie rock with the hip hop R&B roots, and obviously I got to talk about the big elephant in the room. I hear Tool in there.
You know,
I would call you Tim the Tool Man Taylor if I didn't know anything.
yo, that what's funny? I hear that a lot, and when I go back, certain songs that I've made, I've had people say like, yeah, I hear a lot of Tool in there, man. You like you're very Tool influenced. I'm just like, where? Because I love Tool. Don't get me wrong, but if there's anything Maynard related that I'm influenced by, it would definitely be a perfect circle. I think my stuff is like a little bit.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit too laid back for Tool, like minus their melodic stuff. But a perfect circle was like a really big influence to me in college. So I always wanted that melancholy, melodic angsty type sound that I perfected, over the years. But yeah, a perfect circle played a huge part in that over Tool.
Oh man, a perfect circle. Yeah, I prefer it over Tool to be honest. I love listening to all the Perfect Circle album. The newest Tool album, I would say it's almost a Perfect Circle Tool combined album. Not a Fear Inoculum. If you're, I think
You
that's
know, you're the first person that said that, and I have to agree with you because I hear it a lot too.
it's a very long album too. Like I when I listened to it when it came out, and I was doing night security at the time.
Yeah.
I I walked 40 floors a night. So
Good night.
yeah, walked them up and down
Oof.
at least 2 to 4 times a night. That's why I got such good legs, man. I played tuba for, played marching sousaphone, the marching tuba for years, and then walking up and down those stairs, working for old Daddy Bezos. Uh
Ooh. Yeah.
my
You're
wife coined that phrase, so I'm stealing it. But you know, I always end up using my legs for stuff. They're getting kind of tired. But yeah, I
your
was
legs.
into
You were
fear now.
familiar with the game.
Yeah, exactly. It felt so long. It made the walk down the 40 flights of stairs longer. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing when you're sitting there listening to them,
Yeah.
but when you're doing something as boring as walking 40 floors, it is, and I mean, it is a long walk.
Drags your night out. I totally get it.
And then you go back and listen to something else like Lateralus, and then you're like going for it. Or Schism, where it goes, you got that groove to it that I feel Fear Inoculum has more of a atmospheric vibe that a Perfect Circle goes for.
That is the perfect description. I really like that because that's so true. Yeah, I have to agree. It took me a minute to get into Fear Inoculum. But after I went to like their concerts, I could listen to them now, and it's just like it's almost as if it's nostalgic in a way. But I always like enjoy Fear Inoculum when I get a chance to listen to it.
Okay. Well, speaking of Tool, we know that's one of your influences, a Perfect Circle, a bigger influence than Tool. I can definitely, now that you said it, I can definitely understand how it's more of a perfect circle.
Yeah.
Uh, Tell us some of your other influences.
Uh, my biggest influence out of everybody is Nirvana. Nirvana played like a really huge part in my music growing up. Anything '90s alternative and grunge, they played a huge part in my music. Seether,
Oh,
uh,
I love
10
them.
years. There's so many Silver Sun pickups. Um,
You're speaking.
there's so many, but I have to say those would be my top. Oh, Incubus. Those would be like my top influences right there.
You're speaking my language, buddy. Love all those bands.
Yeah.
All on my playlist. If you look through my like songs on Spotify, which I recently switched back over from Amazon Music, but if anybody wants to sponsor, I'm not saying I'll stay one way or the other forever. It may change,
And plugging my boy for real.
but you know, you got Incubus on there. I you got I don't really have so much Nirvana. I have more um Pearl Jam, Soundgarden.
I respect it. I love both those bands. Like that's totally cool.
Nirvana was never really my cup of tea. I mean, I know how to play a lot of their songs for some reason. It just you get
Oh,
Smells the Teen Spirit, and once you figure that out on accident, you can't stop playing it.
Kurt was he was as simple as they could be, but it's just how he played it. How he played his songs is what he was known for. But learning a Nirvana song, it's easy. I know a lot of Nirvana songs.
Them drum parts tell you what, you know.
Yeah,
Dave Grohl is a beast, and he continues to be an influence to me to this
yeah,
day.
me too. When he was the drummer for Nirvana and he transitioned that to Foo Fighters, that was kind of like me coming up because I did nothing but drums for the longest time, but I wanted to do more. So I learned more instruments and went off and did my own thing. And what I love about Dave Grohl, it was in an interview one time and he said that he plays guitar like he plays the drums. And as a drummer that's going to guitar, that made so much sense to me because it's so true. I didn't really think about that till I you know paid attention to myself playing like, wow, I am playing like I'm playing the drums. Like that's mind blowing. Like nobody thinks about that, but when Dave Grohl says it just makes completely sense.
I have to agree with you on that. They and I haven't finished his book, Storyteller, which is a shame because I bought it on audiobook and I don't listen to audiobooks as fast as I read.
I didn't
Uh
even know he had a book out.
yeah, it's called Storyteller. I recommend the audiobook because he reads the audiobook.
Oh man, I love how you tell stories, so I know that's gonna be good.
And then I have a couple different ones. I have the one by Maynard. Get what it's called. Understanding of something something. And then he reads that, I think. I have What Does This Button Do by Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden, and he reads it. That book's a good one because he makes you laugh the entire way. He was a he was a bad kid.
Oh yeah,
he did, he there's a reason he ended up in Iron Maiden, and he was a bad kid. But to move on, we got to talk about your comedy skits. We got to talk about your short uh form content.
oh
Call them TikToks or Reels or YouTube Short. I can pretty much find you on all of them, whether it's directly from you or from the 1,500 people that repost content.
yeah.
I swear, I'll be scrolling through any music related TikTok or anything, and I'll see your face pop up and be like, "That's my boy."
The power of the algorithm, man. Like it took me a while to break it, but once you break that algorithm, you're in there for life, man. I'm grateful that my stuff is spreading. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah. So, tell me about how you came about doing comedy on your short form content, and uh, tell me a joke.
Tell you, well, comedy was always been a big thing for me. I've always had a thing about making people laugh, even before I even knew what comedy was. Um,
You always manage to make me laugh, buddy.
oh man, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad. The videos they came about right when I was going to college. I was, Vine was real big at that time,
Yeah.
and I was a big fan of Vine. And I was, I would always look at their compilations. I was like, these can't be too hard to make. So I looked up how to make them, and I was like, this is pretty easy. And I already knew how to do video stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
So I started doing, Vines off my off-branded Windows phone, and they were terrible. But that's where a lot of people know me from. Like, you're the guy you did all those cringy vids on that, phone. Because I've had people tell me like, hey, this dude recorded this video from a potato. I'm like,
You know what? It's a real shame about those Windows phones. They could have went so far and went absolutely nowhere.
oh my god, I love you. Like, I love Windows phones. They were the
They were
best,
going to be the future, man, and they had a great UI, no support whatsoever. Not from
right?
app developers, not from Microsoft themselves. It's like Google with the Google Lens. That could have went somewhere too, and it went nowhere. And I so badly wanted a Google Lens so I could watch YouTube and walk down the street.
That would have been dope. But I
But
would have
never get those. We don't get the type.
Windows Windows phones had so much potential. I kept mine for as long as I could, but they just quit making them and quit making networks for them. So that's when I switched to Android, and I went to. I have an iPhone now,
Oh,
but
do
if
I?
I had an opportunity to get a Windows phone, I would.
Yeah, if they came out with a new Windows phone, you know, I'd have to really see what they were talking about, but I think I'd be a first buyer. But right now I got the next to newest iPhone. I got the 14 Pro Max.
Oh, how is that? I think I have a 12 or 11. I upgraded. Like I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I won't try to spend too much on a phone.
Oh yeah. I managed to get a good deal through. I'm not gonna say who. You can ask me later. But
Got you, got you.
I managed to get a good deal on mine and my wife's phones. Um, we tried to go today to get new 15, see if we could sneak our way into their new upgrade promotion.
Hmm.
I couldn't make it happen, unfortunately.
Dang.
But hold on, where is it? Where's the box? I did get this cool Vegeta, Super Vegeta statue for $40.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. It's to add to the collection of Gohan in his great Saiyaman outfit going Super Saiyan, R2D2, and a Funko Pop Dobby up there on our nerddom music book shelf.
That's what's up.
Because we got Yu-Gi-Oh, we got Pokemon, we got Magic, we got records, we got my Focusrite 18920. We got a bunch of music gear up there. Got empty boxes. I don't know where those came from. Got Wii remotes that I tried to connect to my computer for 4 hours the other day.
Did it work?
No. I mean, it I was like, if I could just get this to work, I can
You
play
said it. That
video.
sounded so. You sounded so defeated. No.
I really tried. I'm gonna have to open up the Wii remote and see if I can fix it. But because there's a pin for a Wii remote to connect it to your Mac. Because I got a Mac
Really?
for school. And you have to either open it up or do this weird thing with your Mac address, and it wasn't worth it. So,
Wow.
speaking of gear that just sit on my thing, let's
Mhm.
talk about your gear. What gear do you use to make your music? Because I see your guitars on there, but I'm never really quite sure what guitars you got. Let's talk gear, because let's be honest, every musician loves to talk gear.
I love gear. I'm not at where I'm at gear wise. I'm not where I'm at. Gear with my gear, but I'm trying to upgrade it as I go. As playing it by ear, upgrading everything. But the biggest thing I have gear wise, have you heard of Boss? Their effect pedals.
I have a Boss GT1 effects pedal that I use for live situations.
That's what I use too.
Oh, no way.
Swear. Uh,
Twinsies.
a buddy of mine from Memphis put me onto it because I was trying to do a pedal board. I'm still going to do a pedal board, but he was like, "Man, get you this. It'll be cheaper." And I caught it on sale in Michigan, and I fell in love with it ever since. It's great. I love it.
The only thing that I would get, like, especially for that price, there's an IK multimedia one that just came out.
Mm-hmm.
that is about the same price, maybe even a tad bit cheaper. It's brand new and it sounds just as good. That's the only thing I'd get besides that, um, price wise, anyways. And then, of course, I really want the what is that called? The Axe? No, not Axe Effects. It's that thing. I don't remember what it. Neural DSP. I want the Neural DSP unit because Mike Stringer from Spirit Box uses it. Everybody's using it. I I want to use it.
I gotta get a more spirit box. And I've never heard of that. Is it a? You said it's a pedal?
Yeah, so it's an all-in-one effects unit. It
Mm-hmm.
does amp sim, it does pedals. You can hook up to 4 guitars
What?
to the same board. And it's maybe this big, all metal, clicky buttons, the whole 9 yards. You can edit it on your phone, you can edit it on your computer, Bluetooth, over Wi-Fi, whatever you want to do. And it is amazing. And Mike Stringer from Spirit Box uses it. And I'm like, of course he uses it. And you
I
can
need
program
that.
it
Wow, that sounds
per song.
per song.
Yeah. So if you have a you can set up set lists. And let's say I have a 12-song set list and I change tones like 15 times.
Yeah.
I can set it up to change or to be able to just press a button and it change it to that tone
Oh
immediately.
my god.
Changes the amp up and you can run it through the PA and it saves so much time. You can run the Boss GT1 through the PA too,
Mm-hmm.
but it's literally plug and play. It's nothing like I've never seen anything like it. Axe Effects and Kemper, or, that's about the similar thing to it, but not as compact. And Boss has the GT1000, and then Line 6 has their Pod. But I don't like it as much as the Neural DSP. Don't know why, but maybe because
Yeah, I'm telling. There's no telling how much that runs. I'm gonna get one now. Dang.
$1,600.
Whew.
Yeah, it's a little out of my price range, but you know what?
Me too.
Neural DSP, hit us up. Send me like 7. It's
Like I'm right behind you, man.
getting one if I get 7 of them
My man.
coming right to your door, man.
He's a good friend right there.
Of course. So now we got to talk about your guitars. You got to tell me what guitar you're using.
Like mainly or just like
Uh,
my what I have.
look, tell me what you mainly use, and then tell me if you got a special lady guitar in there in your life that you particularly like to use, or just have live.
Well, I have 15 altogether.
You got me beat.
But the main ones that I use, um my Fender, my Squire Fender.
Okay.
I use it a lot because it's just
Is that the Strat?
yeah, the Strat.
I see
Yeah,
that in
that's
a
my
lot of your stuff.
yeah, that's my baby right there. That's actually my first guitar that I ever bought. I got it from a friend of mine that passed away 10 years ago. He he needed the money, and I was looking to you know start playing guitar,
Yeah.
and he sold it to me for cheap. And for some reason, after I got that guitar, I just felt the urge to collect them,
Yeah.
and it just became a thing out of nowhere. But he was the reason. He's the reason I have my collection today. Like he started it off for me, and
That's a
it's been
pretty sentimental reason. I love that.
yeah. I I've had to let go a couple of them, but that guitar that I have, like the Fender, I will never sell it because that's just oof.
It's got so
Yeah,
much mental value to it. Nobody could ever pay as much as that sentimental value holds to you.
oh yeah, man. Like I get it. I still get it fixed when need to. I think the last time I got it, I think the last time I had some stuff done to it was a couple years ago, and it's been good ever since. I got a buddy of mine. He does great guitar work. I'm getting my guitars fixed right now,
Okay.
but my Fender, my Schecter, Hellraiser,
Of course. Gotta have
I got
a Schecter. I have two Schecters sitting right next to me, a 7 and an 8 string.
oh man, they if it's always been a dream of mine to own a Schecter. I got mine 2 years ago on sale.
I got both of mine off the Facebook marketplace. This is my 7 string here.
Oh, that's sick.
I got this I got this at Guitar Center for like $10. This police line do not cross thing. And then I've got this that one's in black. Considering this is an audio podcast, showing stuff off isn't as effective, but got this red Schecter
Ooh.
8 string, and it's tuned to Spirit Box tuning, or not Spirit Box tune, tuned to Sleep Token tuning, of course. So you can play the summoning.
I love sleep talking.
I use it to play exclusively that, and then whatever I come up with.
I want a 7 string. If I ever get a 7 string, it would have to be a white Jackson. Like I don't know why, but ever since I've seen a white Jackson 7 string, I've always wanted one. I almost came close to getting one this year, but I had to pay bills. So
Hey, you know what? That's fair.
yeah, but I'm gonna get one though. That's one of my last few guitars I'm gonna collect. That's on the list to get.
Okay. So speaking of Jackson, sponsor us. You know,
Hit us up.
I'm, this is the first episode. Gotta ask for sponsorships.
Facts.
Funny enough, this podcast is based off of two podcasts that I like. Well, I'll say three podcasts. First podcast is the Downbeat podcast with the Stray from the Path drummer Craig Reynolds. Great podcast. Should check it out. Second podcast is the Punk Rock NBA podcast, the Finn McKenty podcast, whatever you want to call it. And then third podcast is Songs and Stories with the Emery guys. So that's where we got this chill vibe from, asking questions but having fun, chatting.
Yeah, that's how I like it too. It's not all like structured, but it's just play it by ear,
Yeah.
going along with everything.
So we've talked about Paradigm. We've talked about the Grunge Kid, Todd Tenacious. Let's talk about Todd Brown. Let's talk about your new single, because we got to promote your new single that's out.
Oh man, yeah.
Tell me a little bit
Wh-
about it. Tell me how you wrote it. Talk about it for me.
which one?
Um, the Detroit one.
Oh, that's like to Detroit.
Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah, man. That song. Wow. So that's based off a true story. So I went to Baltimore for my birthday, and because the Ravens were playing on my birthday, so I had to go see it.
Your favorite
Uh,
football team.
yes, sir. We got that dub today too. Woo woo.
Hey,
Anyway,
there you go.
yeah, I plugged it in. But so I missed my morning flight because I came in late and overslept, and my phone was dead. And I was pretty much talking about what I was feeling and what I was, thinking about the weekend. But overall, I was overwhelmed that I missed my flight. So I had to like find a way to get back to where I need to go to, and just talking about, just talking about what I was feeling at that time, and trying to get everything back to where it needs to be. And I just ended up turning into a song. I was fooling around with a new tuning on my acoustic,
Okay. What's
and
and tell me. I got
oh, what's that tuning called? It's not new, but it's like an old school acoustic tuning. I think it's bass tuning. I think it's an alternative tuning, but I use it with a capo.
okay.
Yeah, I gotta go back and look at it. But the riff came about one day, and I was like, wow, this is pretty good. And then I put it together with the lyrics that I already wrote for it. And I was like, this goes really well together. And I just ended up recording for a couple of days and getting it all together, and a song came about. I did that song as a test run to see will it stick enough to do solo stuff, and it did. Everybody, fell in love with it, and and it just became a thing from there. I really enjoy that song. It's like one of my favorite songs that I've written.
I definitely enjoy it. But you said another single. See, I only see one single on your spot, like from your solo work. That is
Oh yeah, that's not going to hit platforms until November 4th, but it's on my YouTube.
Cats. Love them to death, but boy, do they keep knocking my shit over. You got something to say to Todd? Here, Todd. He wants to say something to you.
What's good?
You say hi back.
He's shy now.
You you rubbed the thing, so he likes you.
I love cats too.
Uh, we have four of them.
Four.
Yeah, between my wife and I,
I'm thinking about getting one when I get settled back in at home. We'll just have to see.
they're always they're great. So, do you wanna? I gotta know what's next for Paradigm for your solo work. You did say you have a single that's out on YouTube. Let's hear about
Yeah, that one. That one's called Monuments and Alibis. That's going to be on
sexy
the.
name.
Oh, I've always been good with song names. I don't know why. My concept of song names, whatever words stick out the most in a song, that's got to be the song name.
Okay.
And that's just a thing that I've been doing for years, and it just stuck. And I figured it'd be a good way to do that than just to come up with something just off the wall.
I like it, man. That's a good. I might have to steal that because I think too hard about naming things sometimes. I go, if I could just.
You don't think that you're thinking about it until you realize, like, when you're hearing, because I know you record stuff,
Yeah, of course.
right?
Yeah,
So like when you pay attention, you'll start to realize what words stick out to you the most when you listen to it, and then when you hear it, you can't stop hearing it, and that's when names come about. Whenever you record next time, give it a try. I promise you will come up with song names naturally.
I would definitely give that a try. I'm working on a song tomorrow. It's funny enough, I came up with the name. It's an old song that I've reworked like four times, and it's finally to a place that I'm happy with it. It's
Mm-hmm.
got kind of a stray from the path vibe. Um, I'm using my 7 string for it in drop A.
Oh,
It's called Police Line Do Not Cross.
I love Drop A. I love that name too.
It's very, very one of those like stray from the path, Rage Against the Machine with like the hardcore riffing. I'll 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 send it over to you when I get done.
Bet that sounds like, yeah.
Tomorrow.
I'm ready to hear that. Yeah,
It's It's a straight banger.
hell yeah.
It's coming on my new EP that I'm working on. I got 6 songs. 2 of them are fully written ish. 3 of them are fully written.
Is a solo project or a band, like, or your band?
You know what? I'm still trying to figure that out. Still trying to figure out if these guys want to do this with me or if it's just going to be me.
Hey,
But yeah, it's coming
sometimes
out. I'm not gonna let people stop me from releasing it.
that's right.
But yeah, Dreamscape 4, you said part one's coming out toward the end of this year.
Yep, I was actually working on a little bit before I came on the podcast. I wanted to give it a jump started before the week started because I got to get it done or it's gonna bother me. But
I hate
it's in the works as we speak.
good because you start sending me those tracks, man. I'll give them a listen and I'll give you my feedback and everything. I'll even hop on a track if you want me to.
Okay, bet. I'll actually send you a preview. Send you a little snippet of what I'm working on tonight. I
Okay.
gotta I gotta get it down first before I send it to you. So that might be a minute.
Hey, I understand. I do the same thing. I'll send you over my stuff too. But
Sounds good,
yeah,
man.
I'm looking for what's that single called you have coming out November 4th?
Monuments and Alibis. It's available on YouTube, but it's gonna hit the platforms November 4th.
Well, guys, you heard it here first on the podcast, or maybe second. I don't know. Did they hear these things first here?
No, I had it. I posted it already, but
You heard
you
it
know,
first here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm the second hand source to confirm it for you. There you go.
yep.
I'm the man with the mustache and well, not on my picture that I use for my music stuff, but for everything else, I have a mustache.
You heard it here, guys. Listen to my boy.
Right. Monuments and Alibis out November 4th, and Paradigm's double album part one, which reminds me of there was a new album by Chelsea Grin that came out this year. It was a double album. I know that completely different vibe, but double albums are very popular at the moment, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I had to do it with this one because I'm doing collabs. But
Of
I figured, since I've had like almost half of them ready, it's like why not just do a two-parter? Like, what the hell, right?
yeah, of course. Speaking of collaborations, let's talk about them. You've definitely collabed with people in the past, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. Tell us about that. Tell us about the new collabs. Tell us about dream collabs. Let's
Well,
start with the old
I'm keep
collab first, just to keep
well,
you.
I'm keeping these collabs. Well, I have one out that I'm collabing with. His name is Isaac Donovan. He's an amazing guitarist. He did a song on Dreamscapes 4 for us.
Okay,
But the rest of them, no, I'm trying to keep it, on the down low until it comes out.
keeping it on the DL. I got it. I know
But
you.
it's going to be good though. Trust me.
Yeah. Tell us about some of the people you've worked with in the past.
So the people that I've worked with has been people that I've met over the internet. People that became like lifelong friends. Uh, my friend Maxwell Gilder, he's from Maryland. I did some work with him. Prince Golden from Ohio.
Okay.
Check him out.
Love Ohio. It's a very nice place.
Uh, Mo Wavy, I did a song with him. He was actually the first person I ever collabed with on the first Dreamscapes. Uh, he's an amazing producer too. He makes great beats. Check him out, Mo Wavy.
Okay.
Um, a lot of trying to think. Dreamscapes 3, I did some collabs off of that one.
Yeah, you did Henry Friggin.
Yes. He sent that beat over to us and told me like you can do whatever you want with it. I was like, bet.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite collabs that I've done because I was able to play the bad guy in that song.
you got Felonious Skunk on there.
Yes, check him out. He is incredibly talented.
Is that a play on Thelonious Monk?
Yeah, he loves jazz. Like he's real big on jazz. Like he's real big on jazz. He's a great musician. So
My
how we came about with that song? So I did a guitar, collab thing on TikTok. Like, hey,
yeah.
add on to this. So he was one of the first few people that did it, but he did his part with the harmonica and guitar.
Okay.
And what he played, I was like, bro, you got to be on this song with me. Like we got to collab. Like it's mandatory. So he was like, I'm down, and it turned out to be a jam. I still listen to that song now. But I will say, he's gonna be he's gonna be on Dreamscapes 4 with Prince Golden. I got them two together doing a song with us.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, I will say, does that mean we heard it here first? Confirmed.
Yes, you have heard it here first. You
Oh,
have heard it here first.
got it. And then tell me some dream collabs.
like like famous or
It can be famous. It can be people who nobody knows. It can be Jim Bob from down the street at the mall. It can be. I got a quick story for you. So
all right.
we got this guy at the Walmart. He plays his guitar, and I don't know if sings is the word because he goes. Um, thought his name was Scoot first. Then I thought it was Scoob. Now it's Scuba Steve, and he's just out there with a with his guitar playing, making noises, dressed up as Prince. He's very white too, so he's dressing up as Prince. He's got more something than I do. Uh,
Hey, if it works, it works.
one time I was walking into the GameStop because we pre-ordered. This was back around the time Diablo 4 was about to come out or had come out,
Mhm.
and I hear him go, and I just to be funny, I do the same thing back, and I get a response. I go, ah, and he goes, ah. I'm like, what? What just happened? It it was the funniest thing. I had my wife and my little brother with me, so we all busted out laughing, could not contain ourselves.
That's hilarious. Oh man, I wish I was there.
Yeah, Dream Collab. You heard it here first. Scuba Steve on the next Dreamscape. No, but yeah, tell me dream collabs. Anybody you'd like to collab with? It,
Oh man, where
it
do
can
I
be
start?
somebody. It can be somebody like Maynard, or it can be somebody like I said, Jim Bob from down the street. Get
Um, I would what collab wise, who comes to mind? Probably Incubus. I would love to do some work with Brandon Boyd
okay. I
because
like.
I feel like my riffs with their stuff with how they play, I think it would be perfect for a song.
I like it. I
Just
totally agree with you on that.
yeah, I think it would be like, oh god, I would die if I ever got a chance to do a collab with them or even open up for them. But
Come on, get our boy on there. I'll come play bass for you on that tour.
let's do it. I will. Yeah, that would be great. Um, yeah, that would be like, yeah, I think that would be the biggest collab. I think that I would love to do tons of others, but I'm real big on music, so that kind of question, I would sit here all day and just like explain everything who I want to play with.
I totally understand. So I got a fun thing I like to do at the end of podcasts.
Okay.
I got something top fives or everybody loves top fives. I don't know why. Now I'll give you the option. We can there are two different top fives, or we can do, and I am directly ripping this off from uh the Downbeat podcast because he said everybody hates doing it. Dream Festival. You make the festival and then you name some headliners. You're playing, of course. But Paradigm and you yourself in your solo work. You are both playing. It's a 1 day festival.
Hmm.
So you get a choice between top 5 music, artists, bands, whatever. Top 5 movies, because I love movies and any excuse to talk about movies is good for me. And then
Okay.
or Dream Festival. Or we can do a combination of two of them.
I can do a dream. I can do the Dream Festival.
Okay, let's do it. I'm glad you're in on this. So it can be completely ridiculous. Let's start with where is it located? Can be anywhere. It can be in the icy tundra of Antarctica. It can be in the beautiful springs of New Zealand or some shit like that.
That sounds peaceful. But I would have to say Seattle.
Seattle. Okay.
I
The
think
land
I
of
think that
rain.
would
I'm just
I
kidding.
think that would fit the I think that would fit the vibe of that festival. I think it'd be perfect for it actually.
Okay, okay. So we got to think venue. Now, it doesn't have to be a venue in Seattle. It can be a venue that you transport to Seattle. So tell me, what kind of venue are we having here? We having an outdoor venue? We having an indoor? We having an arena? How are we doing this?
Indoor arena for sure.
Okay. I'm thinking Seahawks Stadium is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that would be it'll definitely fit it. Be big for it too.
Okay.
That stadium is huge.
So accommodations. Now this is where are you gonna stay? Are you gonna stay in a hotel? Are you gonna have a cabin? You gonna stay on site? What you camping? You bumming it out with the homeless people of
Oh
Seattle?
god.
Whatever you want. Tell me where you're staying. You can even pick a specific place. Like I want to stay at the Grand Palladium Hotel, and it's been transferred to Seattle for the weekend.
No, if anything, I'd do like some Airbnb that's close to their famous river market.
I've
I
definitely
would definitely.
it
Uh,
has a smell, but it is pretty.
You've been there?
I have. I lived near Seattle for a year.
Oh man, how was that?
I absolutely hated it.
Really?
I that's a long story. I'll share it with you once we get done.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I've always I that's one of my top places to go.
It's
I've
a
always
great
wanted to
place
go.
to visit, not to stay for long periods of time. $1,600 for a 150 square foot broom closet to live in with no,
Oh no,
with nothing in it is not the way I want to live.
I don't blame you there. I've thought about moving there, but I seen the housing market over there,
It's
and it's ridiculous. And I'll just like yeah, I'll just visit.
so okay. You're Airbnb-ing it up. Now we got to talk about food. What's the catering like? Are we having, you know, Mexican, Italian? Are we getting it from a specific restaurant that you know? Allergic to seafood?
Oh man, I feel so sorry for people that's allergic to seafood because I'm like, man, y'all missing out, but you
It's
can't
one of
help
those
it.
things for me that I don't miss what I've never had. So I've always been allergic to fish, like extremely allergic. So I don't miss what I don't have.
That's good because
Except on those few times that I see on Food Network where they go, this lobster that was finely roasted on the pits of hell for 40 years, something like that. They got the basted by the gods, and you know, then I go, okay, maybe I would take a couple EpiPens and go try that.
That's what I was about to say. Like, if it was me, I'd be risking it all.
I mean, I got an expired one in my book bag over there. It'll be fine.
If
It's only
it's
like
my time, it's my time.
that's right. That's right. Okay, so we got seafood. So are you gonna be now we gotta talk about the lineup. We'll do since it's the day, we'll do 10 bands, uh, or we'll do 8 bands because that's easy. Gotta pick 8 bands. Who's playing or where are you playing in the slot? Are you playing headline? Are you playing in the middle of the day? What's your preferred time?
I would have to say, in the middle because I have been to a good number of shows. The past couple of shows I've been to, the middle, the people that's in the middle are the ones that's like bringing in the like piping everybody up, and that's what I want to be in,
You want to be
or
right, man. I got you.
or be the be the one to mellow them out, like hype them up at first, but like mellow them out before the next show, before the next band comes on. That's the kind of thing I want to do. I
Okay.
wouldn't mind doing that.
Okay. Now, who's headlining this? We got 2 headliners.
Two headliners. Uh, like bands that I like, or just
They can be anybody you want to headline. It can be Johnny Cash raised from the dead for all I care. If it is him, you got to explain how he raised from the dead though. That's the fun part.
that kind of lineup. I would have to say, I really have to say a Perfect Circle, man. I would love to open up for Perfect Circle.
Okay. I like it. And give me one.
And uh, damn, it's like a whole different genre that just throws everybody off. Oh, have you ever heard of the band Balance and Composure?
You know what? I've heard of them. I've not heard them.
God, I love them. That would be another band that would be at that show.
Okay. I like it. Now
I'm gonna
give
send you.
yeah, send it over, please.
Got you.
And now I need 6 more bands or artists or whatever. Give me any of them. Just spitfire 6 of them.
Six of them. Let's see. I'm looking at a few right now. Fleshwater.
Okay.
Uh, Now this is my local band. He's a friend of mine. They're called the Espionage Act.
Ooh, I like.
They're they're a punk band, and they're amazing. Prop Hunter. They're
Oh,
from their local band from Arkansas. They're great too. Definitely them.
I like Prop Hunt.
uh, let's see. Deftones would be pretty good too.
Deftones. Okay. My wife will definitely be there.
Deftones fan? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Holy Fun. That'd be pretty sick.
Okay.
How many did I name so far? Was that
I think that's 5. I lost.
five? Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I lost count after 2.
I think that sounds about right. I'll give you one more. Oh yeah, Citizen.
Okay. Yeah, Citizen. That's a good one.
Yeah, that'll be a hell of a lineup. Yeah, those right there will be good for me.
I like it, man. That's a good, varied lineup with, some great music.
Definitely.
And I mean, a perfect circle. That's a no brainer.
What a
What,
way to end the night. What a way to end the night, you know?
yeah. What are they playing? They playing. I know they got to play Judith.
Anything past 13th step.
Okay. Yeah.
Any albums from them, like any songs from those albums.
I got to tell you, I loved their most. I know it's fairly old at this point. It's on 7 or 8 years now at this point, I think. But their last album, Eat the Elephant, fantastic album. Feathers on that album is one of my favorite songs by Perfect Circle.
Yeah, I won that. I won that. Disillusioned and
Illusion, yeah.
The Doomed will have to be my two favorites from that album.
Those are good. Well, thank you. That's a great lineup, by the way. So
Thank you.
thank you so much for being on the podcast. Thank you for being the first guest. I was very glad you said yes.
Oh man, yeah, I'm honored that you asked me, man. I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm definitely down for another episode if you're ever interested.
Trust me, we'll be doing more.
Hell yeah, man.
You and I shooting the shit, having a good time. That's what
Let's
it's
do it.
all about. So we got your new solo song, Monuments and Alibis, coming out November 4th to the platform, streaming on YouTube right now. We got Paradigm Dreamscape 4 Part 1 coming out toward the end of the year. Part 2 coming out sometime next year. Anything else? Anything you want to plug?
Um.
Plug anything you want. This is your time
Oh
to
yeah,
shine.
my Facebook, Todd Brown. My TikTok, Uncle Todd 93. Follow me on there. I'm doing all sorts of crazy stuff on there. Catch me traveling around and getting to know the area, whatever. Just stop by and hit me up. I'm glad to chat with you. We can talk about whatever.
I mean, that's how we got started. You and I just started chatting, and we've been chatting ever since.
Oh yeah, like I've always enjoyed our talks.
Me too, man. We have some deep discussions.
We really do, though. We really do.
You and I will just be sitting there. We'll just be texting back and forth, and it'll be like an hour's gone by, and I'll be like, "Oh shit."
Those are the best conversations, though.
Really are, man. But yeah, again, thank you so much. And I gotta ask, we're gonna play a song from one of your various different things. If you wanted to have a song to go out to, what would you like it to be?
Um, I'll just any of them really. Probably Last Flight to Detroit. And,
I'll play that one.
all
Thank
right.
you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
Weekend's gone and my phone is dead. Everything that's happened is running through my head.
The Mullins Over It Music Podcast has been recorded, edited, and produced by Austin Mullins. If you enjoy this content, please consider checking out YouTube, AM Music, Instagram at A Mullins Official, and TikTok at AM Music. Huge thank you to Todd Brown for coming on the podcast this evening. And we'll see you on the next one. Patreon is coming soon.
I hope we meet again. There's no place I'd rather be. And I'm 40 minutes away. Let me know when we make it there. I'm falling back to sleep. Promise I will see you soon. Just wait for me to land. Just wait for me to land. Yeah. Just wait for me.